What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Horror Heads podcast. I am Rich Mallory here with my co-host, Jerry Lorenko.
Popping off tonight, Rich.
Popping off tonight for real. Yeah, we have a special guest later, Brandon Christensen, whose new film, Night of the Reaper, is blowing up right now on Shudder. He's going to be joining us in a little bit. We're going to talk to him. We're going to talk about Trick or Treat, the Halloween anthology film, in a little bit. You can follow us on Instagram at Horrorheads Podcast or email us your love and hate to horrorheadspodcast@gmail.com. If you're listening to this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, wherever, you could also see the video of this on YouTube and see how fucked up Jerry and I actually do get. Like, subscribe, do all the things. All of that really helps. If you want, you could listen to it on Spotify. You could watch it on YouTube. Do everything, man. We need the views. We need the likes. Keep it going. So before we get to Brandon, a couple things really quick. So I was telling you the other day, I did go see the movie Him, which is the Jordan Peele-produced, Marlon Wayans starring like football kind of horror film. My thoughts on the movie: it's very weird, very confusing. I still have no idea really what happened. It's really well shot. It's like visually looks amazing. It's like really well done. And I think they had a really good idea, but didn't know what really to do with it. I would say the last 30 minutes of the movie kind of like went nowhere and kind of unraveled, which was a bit of a bummer because it's one of those movies where you're kind of you kind of know what's going to happen and you're like waiting for like a big twist, or you're waiting for something because it's like it's building towards something. And then when it finally gets to the thing it built towards, you're like, yeah, that's what I figured out 5 minutes into the movie. Like, why? Like, they really had no idea, which is a bit of a bummer. Because it did seem it was pretty cool up until it got to that point. Marlon Wayans really good in it. He's kind of like terrifying and like in a weird way. He plays this aging quarterback that's going to train the new up and coming quarterback. But of course there's, some supernatural stuff or some other stuff going on, which is going to like why he's so good basically. And it's basically Marlon Wayans fucking with this younger quarterback for an hour and a half. But yeah, it was kind of a bummer that I went to the theater to see it. Kind of glad I went to see it in the theater, because I think at home I would have like gotten bored. I probably would have turned it off. So I'm glad I stuck with it. But yeah, it's a bit of a bummer. And I think we were talking about this, and a lot of movies now are like really good ideas that just they don't know how to end them. And I think this would have been like a really good 30-minute, like in an anthology. I know we're going to talk about Trick or Treat later. Yeah. This would have been a good segment in an anthology, not a feature-length movie. Like, they stretched it out. It did not need to be a feature. So that's kind of a bit of a bummer.
Do you feel like that's the MO of Jordan Peele at this point? Because honestly, like, I did that all night, like horror marathon. I caught like Us in the theater, which normally I would never sit down and watch Us so closely for that amount of time.
Yeah.
Same exact thing. Probably 30 minutes extra in this film that could have been cut out. It kind of like doesn't go anywhere for a while, and then it doesn't really stick the landing as good as it should have. Like, he knows how to like launch the plane, he doesn't know how to land the plane, and I just feel like that's becoming his thing. And was that film beautifully shot? Hell yes.
Well, here's the thing. So he didn't direct this one though. He just like produced it. So like,
he produced it. Oh, yeah. Okay.
I don't know how involved he was.
Okay.
But I'm sure he like put his sign off on it. Like, he had to watch the movie.
I thought he was directing.
No. So he hasn't. He's only directed. So he's directed 3 films, right? The first one, Get Out, I think is like really well done. There's like nothing negative I can say about it. I don't know. I don't think it's the greatest movie ever made. Like, people are like, a lot of people put it in their top 10. I wouldn't say that. I like it a lot. Us, I don't really care for. I feel like Us is way too long. Doesn't go anywhere. Nope is another one that I like, but it's way too fucking long too. Like, Nope could have easily been a half hour shorter and it would have been perfect. But again, that's the trend. I'm saying everything's too long. But I think Him, for example, I don't know what the runtime of it was. What I would say though is it wasn't, no matter how long it was, it didn't feel like a feature. Like, it didn't have that last. It needed. Yeah, it's like, again, like when you like 5 minutes into the movie know exactly what the ending is going to be. That's not doing your job, right? Because like you're like, okay, I get it. I know this is what's happening. what else? Like, what more can you show me? Which they didn't do. So
Well, I'm gonna check it out when it comes on streaming. I love the
yeah, I
Wayans
watched it.
brothers. I love them
Yeah.
both. I'm a huge fan of both of theirs. I haven't seen him in years. Would love to see what he's turned into as far as an actor or a horror actor. So I'm interested, but yeah, I mean, just the premise alone doesn't sound like something that's going to interest me too much. I don't really want to watch like a football movie that
Yeah,
has like
it's
some
funny because
horror
like
overtones, to
yeah,
it.
and like they show it as like a football movie, but I really actually didn't think it was going to be a football movie. I'm like I felt like that was just like the side plot, but no,
But
it's
it's a
very
football.
football.
Yeah,
It's
see,
yeah,
that's
it's way too football. Yeah,
yeah, I'll check I'll check it out on streaming. That way
yeah.
I could
You don't need to rush to see
just,
it.
sit down. I mean, the most important thing is, did you eat popcorn?
I
I know
told
you
you
did.
I
I know
don't
you
eat
did.
popcorn.
I just push it. I'm trying to push it on you. I'm just trying
I
to
don't
push
eat
it on
popcorn.
you because that's why you go to the theater. I just love popcorn.
No, no. I this time I actually didn't get any food whatsoever because I ate before. But
Oh, nice.
I do not do popcorn. But
I
anyway,
know.
so
I'm only fucking
before
with you.
before we get to Brandon, like it is October now, and the best thing about October that everybody says is Jerry's horror challenge, his 31 days of horror challenge. So it's out. The list is up.
It,
So
it's
tell us
it's
about it.
out. It's out, man. And a lot of people are doing this. A lot of people started doing this. A lot of people have been doing this, but it's just not quite the same. So this is a big year for us. I would say this is the 10th year that I'm doing it on social media. So before that, and you guys are like, what are you talking about, Jerry? I'm gonna tell you, I used to write this on a piece of paper and pass it to Rich. And that's how all of this got done. This is how like
And then I would
rudimentary
pass it to
this
somebody, and they
started.
would pass it to
And like,
somebody.
we're talking about like paper, we're talking about notebooks, we're talking about things like that. That's really where this started. We didn't get like advanced until, a couple years ago, where I'm like, you know what? Maybe more people need to be involved with this. Maybe people would be interested into it. And I'm lucky, I'm saying we get a lot of participation throughout the year. We post a lot on Facebook. We post a lot on Instagram. Most recently, now that we're doing the podcast, we're pushing Instagram, but like Facebook has been the hub for probably the last probably 10 years. And a lot of people are doing it. They're sending me messages. They're telling me like what they're watching. I post what I watch every single day. And I want to say like this year it's different. And I feel like you feel that too, because you kind of said something to me. You're like, oh, this is good. I want to get into this. I want to talk about it. And I'm going to tell you what the difference is, Rich. It's personal.
Okay.
I want to make this year's challenge for you. I want to make it for everyone that is going to participate. It's for like the people, and that sounds like stupid, but it's like horror films are just like the music choice that you make. It's personal. It's something you do by yourself. It's something that you care about, something that you see something in that someone else doesn't see something in. So I wanted to make something that you would enjoy. So I gave a lot of new themes that are basically focused about you. So you'll see things like your birth year, and you choose a film from that, or a movie you hate, which we've been doing for a long time, but that's
Yeah.
personal. That's personal. I even opened it up with your choice. You could choose any, like, if you don't want to follow any rules, you're like, fuck these rules, Jerry. I don't want to follow your goddamn rules. It's your choice. So I want you to participate. I want you to have fun. And the most important thing is, remember that it is for you. It's not about watching the coolest movies and being like, oh, I watched this, and this. It's just like, what are you going to enjoy? What film's going to bring you the most enjoyment for October? It's 31 days, 34 films, and I really just wanted people to have fun with this one. So that's what's really different about it this year, Rich.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know, it's basically every day is a different category. We'll get into what some of those categories are. And yeah, you just need to pick a movie that fits that category. And it's, they're pretty loose categories, right? Like it's not very specific because the goal is you want to watch things that either you haven't seen before, haven't seen in a while, or just something you just want to watch, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And like it is 31 days, but it is hard for some of us to watch a movie every day. So I know I do tend to
Impossible
stack,
sometimes. Yeah.
and sometimes like on a Saturday, I will knock out four and get a little bit ahead if I have the time. So it's like don't be overwhelmed with it. You get as far as you can get. It's tough to get all 34 in. I usually it comes right down to the wire, and I don't think I'm gonna make it. And then all of a sudden I end up hitting it or I don't.
Well,
But yeah, it's a lot of fun.
it's important to say that it is a challenge. That is the most important thing, is to really understand that it is a challenge. If it was easy, like, we'd all do it, right? I mean, we do watch a film, like most horror fans watch films often, but did they watch it every single day? That's the hard part. And to kind of follow the themes, that's the hard part. And that, I think that's what makes it exciting, Not all of us have 10 streaming sites, that we could choose from. Some of us have one. Some of us has like a free, we just have Tubi, and that's it. Some people have like massive like basements filled with like, physical media, and they could just pull any of these out in a second. But that's not everyone's gonna have a different challenge. And I think that's what makes it a lot of fun. The most important thing is, and sometimes I get this, is you can't cheat, guys. You got to follow the progression. And I spend a lot of time. Like, this is something I start like 2 weeks before, and I really work on like the flow of it, the layout of it. So you can't like be like, oh, I want to watch like day four's film on day three. You got to do them in order. So, like Rich does, if you have to watch day one, two, three, four, and five all on day five, do it, but you have to do it in that order. That's the only rule in this entire challenge, is to watch in order. You can't skip around, and you can't have one film that may kind of overlap two themes, and like, oh, well, I watched this on day five and it kind of overlaps day 17. You're cheating. Don't cheat. Watch a film, choose a film, pick something that you're going to like, pick something you're going to hate, pick something that you never saw before. That's the whole point of this, is to really get people watching horror. I know we all get psyched in October. It's like you feel like a little bit of buzz in the air and you just want to watch horror, but you really got to dedicate a lot of time to watch a movie a night.
Yeah, and we want you all to again find it on our Instagram at Horrorheads. And sorry, at Horrorheads Podcast, and tell us what you're watching, like, because it's that's one of the things I love about it too. It's not just the movies that
Fun.
I'm watching, it's like, what did other people watch, and then like, what should I be watching? So we definitely want to hear from everybody as to how you're doing with the challenge, and even if it's you just stick with it for a little bit and drop out, that's totally cool. But just, yeah, let us know what you're watching. Again, you could find all of the categories on Instagram as well as on Facebook. We have them all there. But Jerry, so tell us again some of the categories before we kind of get Brandon in here.
Yeah, man. I mean, we're opening it up hard. We're opening up with like one of my favorite categories for day one. So, sometimes I like to put my favorites. I like to sprinkle them out and like let that anticipation kind of build, like when I could watch it. But not this time, man. I want to open hard. We're opening up with haunt or haunted house. And to me, that's like one of my favorite categories, because you could do like an amusement park, or you could do like a creepy house, like an actual haunted house. So you could do something paranormal, or you could do something almost like a teen horror that takes place like in a haunt, like something like Hellfest, things like that. I think that's like a super fun way just to kind of start with a bang. I'll do like a couple things just to kind of get people into like maybe expanding more, or looking at a year that maybe they didn't pay attention to, or maybe horror wasn't that exciting. So I have like one that's like 1983 and 2003. A lot of people that are doing this weren't even born in 1983. So now you got to go find a film that was made in 1983. I mean, that's fucking awesome, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's your year. Maybe that's like what you do for the net. Like, maybe in November, that's all you do is watch films from like 83, because you like, oh, this is so sick. I never checked out a film from like the early 80s like this before. It's just to kind of like see how things developed over time. 2003, 20 years later, how did film change? What's better? What's worse? Did you like the old one? Did you like the new one better? Just kind of get you thinking about those thoughts in your head. I like doing things like that. We got some classics in there. Dark and Stormy Night, which is always a good one. Icy Cold Horror, which is always a good one. They bring like those atmosphere, they bring like the vibe. And we got like lots of new stuff. Modern themes like techno or AI horror. It's popping. I'm thinking things like Companion, Afraid, movies like that. We got workplace horror. I mean, come on, man. Sunday scaries are for real, dude. And like, any sort of cubicle horror or a shitty boss or anything that happens in the workplace. I mean, that's kind of terrifying. So I think that's a great new theme as well. And of course, the banger of them all, Rich, the one that you like the most is the horror film you hate.
Yeah, I
It,
actually do love this film, the horror film you hate, because
Go
usually what I
ahead.
try to do is I pick a movie that I've seen once many, many years ago and hated it, but people love it for some reason. And I will go rewatch it. And I would say a lot of the times I find a movie, I'm like, holy shit, actually, I like it now. Like,
Yes.
I hated it 20 years ago when it came out, but now I'm like, okay, I feel it. So I do like how it makes you revisit some of these movies. And yeah, I usually do try to watch a lot of stuff either I haven't seen before or I haven't seen in a while until I get halfway through it. I'm like, just watch a ton of shitty movies and I'm like, I got to watch stuff I like. But yeah, that's kind of my goal. I do usually try to mix it up a bit. And the next couple of episodes that we drop, we're going to be kind of like talking about our picks and some of the things that we watched and kind of going through like our list. But yeah, check it out on Instagram, check it out on Facebook. Let us know how you're doing it, and let's get into it. Have some fun with it. Right? It's Halloween. Like let's watch some horror movies.
I mean, yeah, man. I mean, maybe give some of these people some insight, man. How do you go about it? Are you the type of guy that just kind of goes by like, you're flying by the seat of your pants there for like day one. You're just like, oh shit, what should I watch? Or are you calculating and doing some like research and making a list of films in advance, seeing what you could find. Maybe you can't find things you really want to watch, but then you have a second choice, third choice. How do you go about creating your list?
Yeah, so I usually do try to be strategic of it, and I will go through it. And some of the categories, like I could think of a movie right off the top of my head I want to watch, and sometimes I will Google and I'll say, find me these movies. I'll go through people's IMDb lists or Reddit lists or whatever, and I usually will pick a couple because I do have limited streaming services. I don't have a ton right now, so I'm very limited as to what I actually can watch. And then other times I will just be scrolling through and I'll just see, does this, like, if I really can't think of anything or can't find anything, I'll just scroll through it until I see something. Oh, that's that. And I'll either watch it for that day or I'll like bank it for later. I'll be like, oh, wait, when I get to Icy Cold, this is the one I'm going to watch. So yeah, I try to plan it out as much as I can. Unfortunately, I do need to kind of fill in some gaps again because I don't have Shudder, for example. I don't have Netflix. So I need to like make do with what I have, or I'll just dig through my boxes of DVDs that I haven't looked through in like 100 years, and I'd be like, oh shit, this fits that. So yeah, I try to plan it out as much as possible. You kind of have to plan it out a little bit just because, if it's late and you like need to find a
Yeah,
very specific category, it can be like you're not gonna, and like if I'm scrolling on
it's gonna be
Tubi, I'm
some
not.
pressure.
I don't. If I need
Yeah.
to find a film from 1983, I don't know what. Like, so you do have to do a little bit of planning for it, especially again if you want to like make the most out of the challenge. So that's how I kind of go about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm an upfront planner. I'm usually planning about 5 days out. And what I do is I make a list and I look up every single category. So what I do is I confirm that if you Google any of these categories, you will see films that will populate. So I'm not just making up random stuff that you're not going to be able to find a film to match it. So I always confirm before I post it that these are real things, even if they sound weird. You can Google it and find
And there's a
these particular
variety. It's not
movies.
just like there's one movie you have to watch and
Yeah,
that's it.
yeah.
Like,
So I always ensure that there's a breadth of film. That way, people are like, "Oh, this category sucks." It's like, "What are you doing?" So I like to make sure that's open for it. And what I'll do is I'll pull out like maybe three films that I never saw before, and I'll kind of put them in order based on like maybe the plot, and I'll try to find them. If I can't find them, I move on to my second choice, and then my third choice, and then my fourth choice. And you're crazy, like, oh, are you really going to get to your I get to my fourth choice,
yeah.
fifth choice, sixth choice all the time because sometimes things just aren't available on that day at that time for whatever reason you can't find it. So when I get to that point, I get to like films I know I could watch or
Yeah.
I know that I saw before, and that way I know where to get them. And that's why I move. So I always try to start with like, this is the film I want to watch for this theme that I never saw before. I hope I can find it, but if I can't find it, I'm gonna look for this one. And that's kind of the way I go about it. And I usually do about 5 days out. So right now I already have my list for the first 5 days. And it's pretty cool. I'll go over it like real quick. Just think about Haunt. I have a film called Fear Inc. I have no idea what that's about. I never saw it before. It's on my list. American Fright Fest is on there. Um, Hurt is on there. And then it moves into other things that I know I could get to. Haunt, Hellfest, things like that. So I really want to watch something that takes place in a haunt, not necessarily the haunted house. And that's what I'm going for. But I don't know which one of those films I'm going to end up watching. I'm going to start at the beginning and work my way down. So if I look for Fear Inc. and I can't find it, I got to move on. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
that's
I
what
mean
I do.
that's kind of the same way I go about it too, because you have to, man. But yeah, so anyway, so everybody definitely get involved. Let us know what you're watching, and let's have a fun fucking October.
Yeah, man, definitely hit us up on Instagram or Facebook. Let us know what you're watching. Like I said, I definitely post everything that I'm watching on Facebook, not on Instagram. We save our Instagram mostly for the podcast, and we don't want to like kind of like mess up the audiences. But if anyone sends us messages on Instagram, we're definitely gonna hit you back and discuss, whatever you sent to us. Ask you, what you thought of the film, what you thought of the theme, if you like how things are going. So definitely, reach out to us wherever you could find us and let us know where you're watching. And if I post something on Facebook and you're like, that movie sucks, tell me. I want to hear it because I probably agree with you and I probably watched it because it does suck. So
Yeah, well, you do like a lot of shitty movies,
I
so
do. I
but
do, but just because it sucks doesn't mean I don't like it. I want to
that's
be crystal
true.
clear about that.
All right, so that's the horror challenge. Again, we look forward to seeing what you're all watching. We'll be talking about it as we kind of go through October. Let's bring in our special guest. He's been waiting patiently. Let's get Brandon in here.
Yeah.
Okay, well, as I mentioned earlier, we do have a special guest tonight. Writer, director Brandon Christensen is here. His new film, Night of the Reaper, is on Shudder. And yeah, Jerry flagged this movie to me probably a couple of weeks ago and it's like, you got to check out this film. And I checked it out. And then we said, we have to have Brandon on the show. So welcome, Brandon.
Thank you. Yeah, this is gonna be fun. This is the first time I've done a podcast like this, so I'm excited to see how it all goes wrong for me.
So are we. It's going to go wrong for us too. Don't worry.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, that's the whole point of this particular podcast. It's cool if everything goes wrong. That just makes it right. So it's all gonna
Okay,
work
cool.
out. So yeah,
Sweet.
it's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah, man. Really, we saw your film, man, and it just like hit home. You know what I'm saying? That 80s nostalgia, and it just kind of
Cool.
hits you like in that core. So let's get into it. Let's ask you a couple questions, man. Like, what was your
Absolutely.
inspiration behind Neither Reaper? Because I'm kind of feeling some stuff in there, and I just want to know if I was wrong or
Yeah.
not. So tell me where you were coming from.
Yeah, I doubt you're wrong. I mean, it wears its inspirations on its sleeves quite a bit. But I would say like the main inspiration was When a Stranger Calls, and I saw that when I was at a junior high birthday party, and we all just like sat around in the dark basement, like eating pizza and drinking soda and just watching that movie. And I'm pretty sure because I've watched it since then, but I don't remember anything after the first 20 minutes. I just remember that that first 20-minute cold open that just sort of sets the tone for like babysitter horror for the rest of my life. And yeah, I mean that always just kind of stuck with me as, certain films do and when you watch them young. And so as I started making features myself, like I was always wondering if there was an approach to doing something like that film. And like House of the Devil exists, and that's like the babysitter horror movie. Like you've got When a Stranger Calls has the cold open, but House of the Devil is just like the perfect babysitter movie, and it's shot on film. It just like captured that period so well. And so around like 2020, I was doing a movie called Superhost, and my brother and I had been talking, and we hadn't really written together before. But I started talking about an idea of, just how could we approach a babysitter film? And the conversation just kind of went towards Scream a little bit and about having this dual killing thing and having, sort of without giving away too much, it's a babysitter movie with a twist. And that was kind of like the sticking point for us. We were like, we can do another babysitter movie, but everybody's seen it before. So if we can kind of put our own spin on it while still paying, paying homage to the classics, I think we might find something kind of interesting. And so that was kind of the idea, was like lean really heavy on some of the stuff that the audiences are going to be comfortable with and understand. But then at a certain point, pull the rug out from under them and make them uncomfortable and be like, oh shit, this is a whole new thing. And it gives the film its own identity. So it's kind of like, it's like a lifetime of just picking up references and stuff like that over the years, and now it's now it's Night of the Reaper, so it's done, and I'm happy it's finally out.
Hell yeah, man. I love when a stranger calls. And I'm gonna be honest, and you guys could all bash me right now. I don't care if you do. Fuck
Don't
you
say it.
all.
I know what you're gonna say, but
No,
don't say it.
I like the
I
remake.
knew you were gonna say
Oh,
that.
really? I've never seen it. I've not
I
seen
like
it.
I
You're
like
you're
it, man.
good. You don't need to
No,
see it.
no, it has a lot of atmosphere. It does a lot of things right. It's a
That's
dark and
cool.
stormy night film. It does do a lot of
Nice.
things right. It's not a classic like the
Does
original,
it
but
does it like, because I mean the original one is like the 20 minutes, and then it has like this, it's not the greatest. It's like the detective story trying to,
yeah.
solve the stuff later. Is it like that, or is it sort of do its own thing after that cold open?
It's a lot of cat and mouse after
Is it?
that.
Okay.
Basically, well aware that someone's in the house, hiding,
Right.
trying to get away and trying to, all of a sudden the killer will appear and then they have to make a
Sure.
quick escape. So definitely, I like it. I recommend it. And I had a list here. So I think I was almost right. So I had like Sinister, Vacancy,
Sure.
House of the
100%.
Devil. So I had a couple here because I just like felt
Okay.
it just between like the look of the film and
Yeah.
everything. That's awesome.
Cool. Yeah, Vacancy is one I haven't heard yet. I guess that makes sense with like the home invasion stuff. But no, I mean Scream for sure, Sinister for sure with the tapes. And that was actually something that came up later in the film because we shot it and I edited them, like I pre-edited them while we were filming the movie so I could play them live on the TVs themselves. Because I was like, oh God, it'd be so nice to do a practical TV work rather than having to make everything VFX. And so like I took these, like the camper, for instance, I like put these cheesy titles at the beginning to make it feel like 80s, kind of like kitschy and retro. And then that was in the first cut of the film, but it was just like not scary or weird. It was like it was weird, not, it wasn't what it was supposed to be. So when I was talking to a friend, he's just like, you do this tape near the end when the twist is happening, and it's so much creepier because it's got, this like you can hear the camera movement, stuff like that. And so I just went back to the drawing board, recut it as something that's more like Sinister and more just like POV and not this like shittily produced thing. And yeah, much better. So that was a good note because I was going down total wrong path on that one.
That's funny. You
That
took someone's advice. Like, I'd never take people's advice. Like,
It's rare for sure. No, you have to, man. I mean, like, because like my brother and I wrote this, I directed it, I edited it, I did the VFX, and I colored it. So it's a very lonely process in post because most films will have like a post-production supervisor that's overseeing the whole thing, and the director's nowhere near it. He'll come in for meetings and you'll like see cuts, but like since there is nobody and I'm doing all these jobs, I don't do sound and music. But I'm just like alone in my basement just working, and so you need to sort of bring in those opinions because it can save you a lot of the time, which is nice.
how long was the shoot?
The shoot was 22 days, and then we had one pickup day later when it was snowy for like the sheriff's wife thing. But yeah, other than that, it was a very, it's a pretty quick thing when you're jumping around so many locations and got the actors coming through. It's 22 days was my longest to date, but still like would have loved more for sure.
Yeah, you could always get more.
Hmm.
Never have enough time for
Definitely.
everything. Yeah, I think like so. Yeah, for me, we're not going to give away the twist, obviously, because I didn't see it coming, and that definitely
Cool.
does really sets this movie apart from, again, some of the other movies that we've
Hmm.
referenced and some of the other movies. Like it feels very familiar in the beginning,
Yeah,
right? And you're like, okay, I've seen, like, you're into it, but you're like, I've kind of seen this before. And then you get to this one
for
moment
sure.
where you're like, holy shit, it becomes a kind of almost a different movie in a way. Like it's still same
Yeah,
tone, but it
yeah,
was really effective. And that's like, I guess that's why it's kind of really one of the reasons why people are really digging it, because it sticks with you because you're like, you did not
yeah.
expect that. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's divisive. I mean, there's definitely a lot of people that hate what we do there because I think they probably wanted the scream and and that kind of like slasher vibe. Because for a slasher movie, which it kind of bills itself as, there's not a lot of slashing going on, and that was even in like development and like when we were sharing the script with people early on, they were just like, there's not enough killing and there's not enough things, and that's why the tapes became a little bit more prominent in the script, just to kind of keep some of that horror going while we're just building tension on the other side of in the house. So, yeah, if you're going in for something like Hatchet, you're going to be disappointed. And I get that. It's
Yeah.
just, but that's what it kind of looks like, right? Like the trailer's got the big masked killer like stabbing the screen and all this stuff. And it's setting itself up for something that it's not really. And it depends on how you handle that because some people don't love it.
Yeah, I mean, look, House of the Devil, which I know Jerry and I both love that movie.
Hmm.
Like, I know there's a couple of kills maybe in the middle of the movie, but there's up until the end, like, which the end gets really bloody,
Yeah,
but there's not like a ton going on
for
really.
sure.
Like, it's basically just
Yeah.
kind of her hanging out and then getting creeped out, which it's great. It's all effective, but
Yeah.
that's another movie too where you got to have patience with it, right? You got to kind of sit with it, let the story
Yeah.
unfold.
Yeah, for sure. Like Greta Gerwig gets shot in the face by that one dude, which is great. And then the pizza
Yeah.
delivery guy, I think he gets killed. But yeah, in general, like that's like the slowest burn horror since like Rosemary's Baby. And it's amazing. I love it. But nowadays, saying something's a slow burn is like an instant someone will shit on it. Like it's not a term of endearment anymore. So you need to kind of like, okay, let's go, let's go, let's go. So you're like deleting scenes and cutting down scenes, and you're just trying to like keep the pacing going as much as you can because if you settle into that groove of just being a slow burn, it could kill you.
Yeah, it's a bummer now in the age of streaming, right? Where
Hmm.
people have so many options that they're not willing to kind of
Yeah.
sit with something. And I'm guilty of that as well. If I'm
Oh,
not
for
hooked
sure.
right away, like unless someone tells me it's good and I need to stick with it, I'm
Hmm.
probably not. Or maybe if I know the filmmaker, like, oh, I've seen their other work. But yeah, it's definitely a
Yeah.
bummer because like slow burn is it if it's done effectively, it's really a great way to
Sure.
tell the story, just to kind of engage you. But
Yeah.
you just can't make movies like that anymore unless, again, you want to really
Yeah.
take a risk.
Unless you're like built in, like if Mike Flanagan could do it because he's got an audience
Right.
and they respect him and they expect good, so they'll sit with it. But someone like me, I don't have that kind of cachet, so you have to kind of keep things moving, even if it's to the detriment of the film. It's better for the experience of watching it.
Yeah, so I know this isn't your first film. I haven't seen any of your other work, to be honest. I would
Oh,
would
okay.
love to kind of know, just like what are some films that you're proud of that we should kind of look at if we want to, get dive more into your catalog.
Yeah, for sure. One that I'm really proud of is one called Superhost. It's like an Airbnb horror. And it's for a number of reasons. One, it was the first script I wrote solo, which was really cool. Like I'd come off two other films that were pretty successful, and then it was COVID hit, and everything was really weird, and it was like this unknown time. So I was writing this. Basically, I did a festival for my second film, and I was in Toronto, and I was staying at an Airbnb, and the toilet wasn't working, and so I
Nightmare.
had to like
Horror
call this.
movie.
Yeah, totally.
It's
No,
a horror
honestly,
movie
and
right
I
here.
wrote this. I had to like contact the host of the place, and he's trying to give me information on how to do it. I'm like, it's a toilet. I know how toilets work, and so eventually he had to come to the place with a plunger and like plunge my pee. And we're like having small talk, and it's a situation that should never happen because the system's automated, so there's no reason for us to ever meet. But we did, and we had like the most awkward conversation. And when he left, I was just like, that's such a great idea for a feature. And then, I saw Creep, and I kind of blended that idea with a Creep like host character who could, be not who they claim they were, and yada yada. I kind of went down this path, but anyways, we shot it in like September 2020, like in the thick of COVID. And there was no rules really yet for filming yet. Like we were one of the very first guinea pig projects to come out of it. So we were working with SAG, and it was like they didn't really have rules. They just, you had to do testing, and the testing were so expensive back then. So we had this little budget of like 125 grand, and we just went up to the mountains in Las Vegas, and we just shot this movie for like 18 days, and we made this thing called Superhost that um, I'm super proud of, and it's just a ton of fun. So yeah, if you want to check one out, it's totally different from this, but it's like really fun and kind of cool.
So we probably should do this at the beginning, but like tell us about like Night of the Reaper. Like what's it about if I hadn't seen it before? Give your kind of pitch to our audience.
Yeah, it's the 1980s babysitter slasher. I mean, that's kind of what we want to make you think it is. And then at the same time, there's a police investigation going on because the killer's left clues for him, and he's just kind of going through this rabbit hole trying to solve this case that's driving him crazy, while we see another babysitter getting, kind of stalked and preyed upon while she's doing her babysitting. But yeah, I mean, it's for me, it's just like a love letter to the horror that I grew up on, and just it's of all the films I've done, and I've done six now. It's the vibiest and like coziest to watch, which is something that we were really, I was really attracted to going into this, just creating a time and place, which I've never done before. Everything's always been like present day. But going back to a time that I remember fondly and trying to capture the feeling of being there and being in that time, and it's not like the 80s that people remember, it's the 80s that actually were. And so, yeah, I mean, it's just like a cozy Halloween slasher film that, might have some tricks up its sleeve.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. I think the set designs, the costuming was like it's like perfect. And I was like thinking about this. I'm like, man, you look a little too young to be growing up in the 80s, but I
Well,
mean,
I'm 40, but yeah.
I mean, I was gonna be like, did you immerse yourself in that culture, or was that literally like your house as a kid? And now I'm starting to think that that's probably like the house you grew up in, like just the way it
It
looked.
wasn't.
It's like that
Yeah,
kitchen with the phone kind of like hanging on the
for
wall. And
sure.
yeah,
Well, it was cool. So that house, it was actually built for film. Like it's kind of out on the outskirts of Calgary, which was perfect for the film. But a TV show or a Hulu show called Under the Banner of Heaven with Andrew Garfield, they had shot a bunch of stuff in it. And when they wrapped, and that's an 80s show, they left it fully
oh
set
wow.
decked. Like it was fully, it hadn't been touched in years because no one had shot there. So when our location manager went in, he took a bunch of photos and sent it to me. And I was like, if you don't get me that house, I'm going to kill myself. Like, that's the house. It has to be that. It can't be any other house. That's the house. And so we did finally get it. And, it was tough because the bathroom is there, but it doesn't work. There's no plumbing, there's no power. So everything's run off a generator off site. And it's, that can be kind of tricky when it's not maintained properly. So it had a bunch of quirks to it and stuff like that. But, just from a cinematography level, it was just unbelievable to shoot. The texture in that place was just off the, insane. And so our team went in and like they redressed it and put new furniture in, and they did a lot of stuff, but so much of the work and the detail was done by like a Hollywood crew. And so it was just like super dialed in, which was just like an incredible find for us because it makes the film for me.
Yeah, I totally feel like I sat on that couch as a
For
kid and
sure.
probably like sat on that carpet. And I mean just like your usage of like the VCRs and stuff like that, just oh my God,
Hmm.
just brought me back. I could like think of like me
Totally.
and Rich staying up like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning,
That's
like
it. We
with
were up
like
later
some
than that.
some shitty horror
That's
film. And
awesome.
it's like, kind of playing with like, the jogger on the VCR to get it to work right
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah.
like that.
S-
It's
So,
so funny.
so you guys grew up together then?
Yeah, I moved away like many years ago, but
Okay.
yeah, we grew up like watching horror movies together, and yeah,
Amazing.
yeah we were friends a
And
long time.
how long have you guys been doing this?
This is our second year, so I think this is like our 45th-ish episode. So yeah, we started it about a
Awesome.
year ago. We've been doing so like really little history about us. So back when the internet was first kind of coming together, and like we kind of started a horror movie review site called Horror Heads, and we did
Oh,
it for a
cool.
while. And at the time there weren't really a ton of horror review websites, so we kind of did it,
Sure.
and it's kind of blew up a little bit, and it kind of got to be too much for us. And once it became work, we
Hmm.
kind of stopped doing it. And
Sure.
then and we kind of, but we still kind of, we're still like into horror movies, right? So we still been kind of doing it. And
Hmm.
then one day I just came up with the idea, like, why don't we just like get some drinks and talk some shit about horror movies and see what happens? And here
Cool.
we are today.
So when you first started it, what time period was that? Was that like you say pretty early internet? How early are you talking?
I think what was like, it was 90s for sure, right?
Wow,
Yeah,
really?
late 90s, like maybe 98. I
Yeah,
That's
think
give it.
maybe
sweet.
99. Yeah, like
That's
everything had to be
sick. I love that.
like just to put like some like words on a screen was all like
Uh-huh.
HTML coding. It would take
Yeah,
like
for
like
sure.
days to like post a review and
Wow,
you
that's
know
so cool.
yeah,
Yeah, I did the
Rich had
website
to
in
do all that.
HTML.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
like it was so
I got my
brutal.
HTML for Dummies book, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make a website now. And I kind of
Yeah,
did. Also, we could talk a bunch of shit about movies we didn't like. That's really what it was
Yeah,
yeah,
about.
that's
for
really what
sure.
it was. Like it was just us really mostly talking shit. We were a little angsty and young back
Sure.
then. We just wanted to be dicks. But yeah,
That's
it
awesome.
You know what
it's
it
a
was though? We were watching, so like Jerry and I would probably hang out at least once a week. We would get together at like midnight because I worked a shift at a gas station. We get together at
Hmm.
midnight. We'd rent like three or four movies from the local video store, and we would stay up till like 6 in the morning just watching these movies. And we would kind of take
Cool.
notes and stuff like that. And then we are like, you know what? Like, we're gonna forget like what we saw, what we liked, like how many kills were in each
Hmm.
thing. So we're like, if we put it on the internet, it's forever, and then we
Hmm.
can kind of always
Sure.
go back and reference. Now the website's long gone, so it's not forever.
Uh,
But at the time, we're like, this is a great way to remember what we
probably
seen because we
hacked.
were watching. Yeah, right. Yeah. We were watching so many movies that it just helped us kind of like navigate that. And then yeah, it became work, and we're like, oh, this is no fun.
did you guys did you like buy a URL back then, or did you use like a GeoCities Angel Fire type of
So we
thing?
started we started with GeoCities, yes, and
Okay,
then at one point, because the name horrorheads.com was taken, so then
cool.
at some point I bought horrorheads.net and had that, and then
Yeah,
at some point the other guy gave it up and we took that over. But yeah, we did start out with I think it was
that's
GeoCities, I
Yeah,
cool.
forget.
Geo says I
Yeah.
can't believe it. Brandon's really 40. I thought he was lying. If you
I
know
No,
forgot.
dude, I am.
if you know GeoCities,
I
you're
forgot
completely
about
Yeah,
that. I totally forgot about that. But yeah, it was yeah.
I
Hard coding was like yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I made my first website in '97. It was like a South Park fan page, and I used Angel Fire. So I'm very familiar with the time because I was just, a kid with a computer, and so I was just like making shit like that all the time, like fan stuff. How long ago did you move from Long Island? Because your accents couldn't be different.
I've been out here about 15 years, so and I've been
Okay, you lost it.
it will come out once I have a few drinks. You will hear it on
Okay.
certain words. Water, I still is still
Oh yeah, yeah.
very New
And
York.
like
Yeah.
roof. Um,
Luckily, I don't have to say
it's
that word
funny
often.
because because I was living, I grew up in Calgary, and it's a very blue collar place. It's kind of like the Texas of Canada. And so when I moved, I went to Toronto for film school, but my voice at the time was just like insanely Canadian. And so I moved from Toronto to Las Vegas, and everybody made fun of me mercilessly because I just about pasta, Mazda, all these words that I didn't know were wrong. And so I had to work, like I was in Vegas for 15 years, and I worked very hard to lose that and like become this, whatever. It's a little bit nicer now and less rough. But now I'm back because we moved back a few years ago, and I'm just terrified that that's going to creep back in. So I'm just like, I'm not going to talk to anybody here. I'm just going to
Yeah.
stay in my bubble
Lock
because
yourself in
that's
your
not good.
basement and just edit
Yeah.
movies all day.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah, so in a few minutes we're going to talk about Trick or Treat, which I'm excited that
Uh-huh.
you chose that movie to speak about. But before we kind of get to that, would love to know kind of, well, two questions. We want to know like what are some of your favorite filmmakers or
Okay.
like influences?
Yeah, I mean, influences for like the way I shoot and the way I think is like David Fincher. Like he's just sort of the technical master of just, he has one thing that I don't have, which is time, so he can really perfect everything.
Money.
But
Money and time.
yeah, I know for sure. and he's just, he's got patience that I definitely don't have. But he he's just got this meticulous way of painting a scene that like I aspire to, and sometimes I can hit it pretty good, and sometimes I'm kind of lacking and struggling. But it's all part of the growing filmmaker thing. But I was a massive fan of Mike Flanagan for a while, just because Oculus I thought was brilliant. Midnight Mass and Haunting of Hill House were unbelievably good, and Hush was cool. Um, and David F. Sandberg, I'm a massive fan of his just because he kind of has the DIY spirit, which I feel like I have. And he does short films with his wife all the time, and he'll release them kind of in between his bigger releases. But he started on YouTube, and he still maintains his Pony Smasher YouTube channel with like really crazy content that no one else at his level is doing. Like he's just sort of opening the doors to his fans and allowing them to kind of see the process and the inner workings of how he shoots his stuff. And I'm just like, I'm super inspired by that, which is really cool. And then Robert Rodriguez was kind of, he was like the indie kind of do-it-yourself guy. And so, yeah, his book Rebel Without a Crew is like life changing. I've read it so many times. I have several copies of it. And yeah, it's just, those guys are all just guys that kind of came out of nowhere. They weren't born, they didn't go to UNC, and they just, they kind of just had talent and made something of it. And, they're all wildly successful. So, those people are all just rad.
Yeah, just a story quickly on Robert Rodriguez. So I had worked for
Hmm.
a film distribution company, and we were putting out the From Dusk Till Dawn series, like
Cool.
digitally. We were selling it, and he was going to do director's commentary on the episodes for like DVD release or
Okay.
something. And I got to like sit in on the sessions, and it was just really cool to like hear him like just how excited he still is. And this is like
Yeah.
again later in his career, right? He's already kind of done a
Yeah.
ton of shit, and he was just so just engaged and just like loved just talking about everything, like every aspect. And it was so
Hmm.
cool just seeing how his brain worked. And usually
Yeah.
I never really listen to commentaries. I don't have the time to it, but it was really cool
Sure.
just to hear him kind of like just go through everything. And it was a really cool experience. He was really nice too. He was very, very
Yeah, that's
cool.
awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's just a guy that loves filmmaking, and like that's how I feel. Like I do indies. Like if I, my budgets are all under a million. It's just I'm trying to build, but give me 200 grand and I'll go make a movie tomorrow because I've kind of figured out the math of it and how to do it. But yeah, no, it's just I just love the process. That's why I like being involved all the way through, which is kind of a unicorn thing these days, where everything kind of gets diversified into different categories and stuff like that. But no, yeah, he's wildly inspiring. That book is incredible if you haven't read it.
Yeah, no, it's a great yeah, it's a great read. For anyone who's a filmmaker like that one I recommend, and I also recommend Lloyd Kaufman's book, Make Your Own Damn
Oh,
Movie. I think is a really
oh,
good.
hell yeah.
If you're like an indie filmmaker starting out, he like just tells you like all these like little kind of tricks to like get money, get
Hmm.
actors, and it's like all trauma style. And Lloyd Kaufman's really funny, so Make Your Own
Yeah,
Damn Movie is really good too.
cool. I'll have to
So
check that out.
yeah, yeah. So he had a couple of like a bunch of books in that. He did like a series of them, but that's like the first one. So like
Hmm.
what's next for you? Like what do you have coming up? Are you working on anything writing?
Um, yeah, my brother and I are writing some stuff. I'm writing another thing. I've got another movie that's coming out early next year, and I'm leaving on Thursday to Boston and then Colorado to do screenings with it. It's like a found footage horror called Body Cam. It's like all shot on police body cams, and it's kind of like you're watching a YouTube video that kind of goes to some really fucked up places. So it's like an accidental shooting that turns into an attempt to cover up what they did, but everything's being recorded by this thing, and they're trying to sort of fix it all, and it's all just like a chaotic nightmare. But that'll be coming out early next year, and then after that, I don't really have any plans. I mean, I'm writing, I've got a script out there trying to get financing, and then we're working on a couple more just to try and keep the ball rolling kind of thing. But yeah, it's weird. It's kind of for the last 3 years I've been in post on films, and like I did this movie called The Puppet Man, and while I was doing the sound mix on that, I went off and shot Body Cam, and then while I was in post on Body Cam, I shot Reaper, and then Reaper and Body Cam just both finished in July. So it's been just kind of a full blown chaotic nightmare for the last 3 years, and now I'm like, I'm kind of like, oh shit, now I don't have anything to look forward to. Like I have to figure that out. So, as someone that does indies, I have to kind of self-generate the next thing.
Yeah, it's that wave of depression when you're like in between
Hmm.
projects. Yeah,
Totally.
I totally get it. So how can people find you? Like, here's your chance to kind of plug.
Instagram's kind of the main thing. I'm just the Brandon Christensen, and that's where I kind of post all this stuff. I'm not terribly good at it because I'm 40, but I try. I'm trying my best.
Awesome. Well, check out Night of the Reaper on Shudder, Brandon. I'm sure we'll ask you some more questions throughout it, but we do want to get
Hmm.
to we want to get to Trick or Treat, but more importantly, we want to get to the drinking because that is a big part of the
Got it.
show, and I am
Mm.
Yeah.
thirsty as hell. So you showed us something early that you said we were going to make fun of. We will try our best not to laugh, but we won't.
It's a
Oh,
pink lemonade. It is a seltzer of sorts, I guess. It has a 5% alcoholic content. And yeah, as someone that grew up Mormon, this is something I would normally try and hide. But I'm not now. But my parents will probably see this, and I'm sorry, mom and dad.
yeah, sorry, we made your son drink.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
all our
40,
fault.
guys. Leave me alone. Yeah, no, they don't care. I'm just joking. That's long done. It's
Okay,
fine.
so Eau Claire pink lemonade. I have some Wild Turkey
Oh,
101.
hey, classic right there.
Yeah, and
Awesome.
I try to drink something new every time we do an episode. I might have drank this before, but as I will say for the third episode in a row, BevMo had their buy one bottle get one for a nickel sale on this, and so I
Damn.
bought a ton of. You can't say no to that nickel.
No, you
No.
can't.
I think they upcharge you on the bottle you buy, but I think I'm getting a deal, so I go with it. So that's what I'm going to drink
Yeah,
tonight.
That's
yeah.
good.
Jerry, what do you got?
Awesome. Got a nice fresh bottle right here of Brothers Bond.
Okay, I haven't had
It's
that.
Jesus,
hand
you guys drank
selected
hard.
batch. Yeah, it's a
We're
really nice
professionals.
bottle. It's a little expensive, probably around that $80-$90 mark.
Woo! Not a nickel.
Jesus.
It's definitely it's a little rare, and I cracked it open for this very special occasion tonight. So I'm
Very
very
cool. I
So
feel like I have
eighty.
to drink with my
excited.
pinky out.
Yeah, that's do it, man. Do it. I mean, I think this would be a perfect time to say cheers. I would like to say cheers to
Yeah.
Brandon.
Cheers. Let's sip.
And yeah, let's do it. Cheers,
Thank you,
everyone.
gentlemen.
So $80, I probably could have got 8 bottles of this Wild Turkey
Wow.
101 for
Didn't taste
that.
like this though, man. This is smooth. This is great. It's only 80 proof.
Ah,
Oh
breakfast
Jesus.
man.
bourbon.
Nice light flavor to it. It's crisp. Really no burn, man. This is really nice. Anyone who's ever drank Brothers Bond before, it's a little harsh normally. These are the guys, those actors from that vampire show.
What, Vampire
Um,
Diaries?
Vampire
Vampire
Diaries.
Diaries. Yeah.
Yeah, so they got together. They're like bourbon freaks, and they started this company probably right around COVID. I think is when I remember the first release came out. And honestly, they're doing a killer job. So if Brothers
Mm.
Bond wants to support this show, hit us up, Stefan. I don't know your real name,
Is that
but
Ian
my
Somerhalder
yeah,
or
he was
whatever?
so. My wife was in love with you. So if you want to hit us
Hmm.
up and send some cases of bourbon, we're down. But
I
it's
think
really good.
everybody's wife is in love with her for sure.
That's it.
Or with
What do you?
him, sorry. One
What's
sip
that
and I'm
pink
already
lemonade?
spinning.
How's that pink lemonade taste? Is it sweet? Is it smooth? Give us some notes on it.
It it's very sweet. It's
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's very girly. Like it tastes like a girl drink, but I love that. So I don't know, I would recommend. I'm sure it's a Canadian thing. I'm 99% sure you wouldn't be able to buy it, but yeah, it's made here in Alberta. So
What's the
yeah, I
spirit
don't
in
know. It's
it?
just
Is it vodka? Like what's the liquor?
uh, yeah, it is vodka. Vodka
Nice.
alcoholic beverage. But yeah,
Okay.
5%. So in about 10 minutes, I'm just going to be slurring, and it's going to be a mess.
Well, I have great news for you, Brandon. We did not bring out our craziest drinking game for tonight that we introduced in
Damn it.
our last episode, and our last guest had to deal with a nightmare. They probably still didn't recover. They probably got fired from their job, and probably like their life has gone downhill since
Right.
they were on the show. We didn't bring
Good
that game out
content though.
tonight. Yeah, we,
Yeah.
we did not bring out that,
The
but
Wheel of Death will not be seen tonight. So
yeah, so there's
you're
no Wheel of Death tonight. We're trying to be friendly, but
Oh, thank you.
may have something planned.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Trick or Treat. So I'm excited
Hmm.
you picked this movie. There's really not I'm not going to give the plot of it because really what it is, it's kind of like an anthology, but it's done very different than an anthology is to kind of like it just goes story to story and they're all kind of
Yeah.
almost
It's like a non-linear
interconnected. It's
anthology.
exactly it's a nonlinear anthology. It all takes place in this small town. I believe it's like a Canadian town on Halloween night, and there's five different kind of stories that are told throughout
Hmm.
this night. Some I like more than others, and I remember I slept on this movie because the first time I saw it, I really didn't like it, and I didn't know why. And then I saw it again a second time a couple of years later, and I really liked it. I'm like, oh man, this movie's a lot of fun. It's you know it's different. It's like not
Hmm.
doesn't take itself too seriously. It's
Yeah.
the stories are really creative and clever. And I think the
Hmm.
two things I realized I didn't like about the movie the first time I watched it that turned me off. One is I actually really don't like the first real story they tell, where it's the guy with his son and
Yeah.
he kills
The
a
principal.
local he kills a local kid
Yeah.
and then tries to cover up the crime. For whatever reason, like I didn't like that story, and I think it kind of turned me off for the whole movie. But the other thing I realized for this movie in particular, it's better if you watch it with other people. It
Oh,
just seems
sure.
like it's more fun that way. And like this
Yeah.
time, I watched it by myself, and I'm like, I didn't enjoy it as much. But I see that I watch this movie all the time, so for me, I like
Hmm.
the co-viewing experience of this. I think it's a really good, almost like gateway horror movie where it's good
Okay.
for people that aren't necessarily horror fans. Like Jerry, did you watch this with your wife? Did she watch this?
Yeah, yeah, we watch it all the time together now,
So
which
she likes
is
it, yeah. So I
yeah,
think
she loves it. Yeah.
I think it appeals to non-horror fans while also giving like horror fans something that they like. So I really appreciate this
Hmm.
movie. And when I was looking it up, I was shocked to know it didn't have a theatrical release. It was straight to
Yeah.
DVD. It was
Hmm.
supposed to come out. Warner Brothers was going to release it, but then they shelved it, possibly because they didn't want to compete with one of the Saw movies, but also I've read possibly as revenge because Bryan Singer and the writer Michael Dougherty, they had just done like a Superman movie which bombed. So I think
Right.
there's rumors that they shelved it just because they were pissed about that. But and it didn't come out till a couple of years later, which is interesting because
Yeah.
it's got good cast, like it's
Hmm.
well shot, like it seems pretty high
Yeah.
budget, so it seems odd they didn't actually give it a chance to really find a fan base, but it did find a fan base, right? It's got a big cult following. So I really like this movie. So Brandon, I know you picked this movie. Like, why did you choose this for us to talk about?
Just because I mean, this is like the annual Halloween movie that I watch. Like, I try and watch it every year just because the vibes are just like so on point. It just, it all takes place on Halloween night, and it feels like it, like it's very much just a Halloween movie. And there's five different stories that are all kind of different subgenres. There's there's werewolves, there's kind of like weird cannibalistic stuff like that. There's the bus massacre, which was,
Right.
is my personal favorite. But it's constantly like fresh, and it's constantly kind of changing itself up and jumping back and forth. And it's, you'll be in one story, but you'll see a piece of another story, and you're like, oh, that's that guy. And it's just really well and tightly written that it's just you don't really see that too often anymore. I feel like it's just a really cool way to do an anthology. Like anthologies are wildly popular. You've got VHS Yearly right now, you've got all those, but they're all distinct stories that are just sort of told, and this just being one person's unique vision. It's just really cool, and I'm shocked that there isn't more of them. Like I wonder if that's a Bryan Singer issue, like he's got the rights to it and he's kind of in Hollywood jail. So
Hmm.
i don't I don't know, it's weird because it feels like something that you should 100% franchise, because like
Especially
Sam's amazing. What
I
a
was gonna say, especially with the character of Sam. I mean, you go into Spirit
Yeah.
Halloween, and there's tons of Sam. Like I have Sam stuff throughout my house because I think it's really cool, and
Yeah.
it's such a like well known. Yeah, exactly. Jerry's got something right there. It's such a
Nice.
cool character that they develop that we all want to see more. We all want to know the backstory. One thing,
Hmm.
and I like what you said about like how it's done, like the way they did this anthology. It feels very intentional. Like the stories do kind of connect, not just in
Yeah.
like the people kind of crossing over to different parts. But
Hmm.
one thing I read that makes me appreciate this movie more is when the writing of it, they tried to take each story as like a different phase of a person's life. So like the first story with the principal is like your introduction to Halloween, and then it's like you're a little bit older, you're like 12 years old, and then you have like, you know, you're doing the trick or treat and the pranks and stuff like that. And then you become like a teenager, and that's like the werewolf story. And then it
hmm
kind of ends with the, you know, the Scrooge kind of old man kind of like where
hmm
you're older and you start hating Halloween. And I thought that was I
Yeah,
never really realized like the way the narrative works, that it kind of goes chronologically in a way with the
yeah.
characters' ages, which I thought was pretty cool.
That is cool. Yeah, I didn't really pick up on that, but yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I just think it's super clever, and I like when it's a writer director, and he just sort of created this thing, and it's very it's just incredibly marketable, and it's
Yeah.
just vibey as shit. So it's just a lot of fun. So I mean, I picked it mostly because of that, because I never I watch it all the time, but I never get to talk about it. So that's cool.
Yeah, and I like how it like starts right away. Like there's no bullshit, like no
hmm
lead up. Like you're immediately into this really kind of quick, like it's like
hmm
this quick 5 minute kind of story, like that it starts off with,
hmm
which is like super fun and like you're like, oh shit, what am I actually watching? Like there's no real build up into it. And I have a very quick drinking game. And you
What?
can play it if you want. You can both play it. It's for 3 sips. So in the opening story is my little bit of trivia that I just thought was hilarious. They're the two couple that come home from a Halloween party. The girlfriend's kind of like anti-Halloween, kind of bitchy.
Mhm.
The guy's like really horny and wants to have sex. And finally she says, "Okay, fine, go put on the tape and I'll be
hmm
in a minute." And he
Yeah.
puts on a VHS tape and there's something written on their own porno on a porno
hmm
tape that it's not the one they made, but it's a porno tape that they watch. If you could
Yeah.
say what is written on that, I will take 5 sips. If you can't, you got to take 1 sip. You
Isn't it
know.
nature documentary or it says nature something, doesn't it?
I'll take 3 on that. It's nature special. I will take 3 sips
Oh
for
Nature
that.
man,
So
special.
good job, Brandon. That was a good call.
Yeah, no, that
I
did
just thought
stick
that
out a
was
lot when
funny.
watching this.
I thought that
It's
was
Sure.
so
funny. I
funny.
was
It's
like, like they're
I just
adults.
like
Like they can't just have like whatever the porno is on the tape. Like why do they have to hide that it's a
yeah,
porno?
I,
And the fact that
yeah.
it's a copy of a porno that
Uh-huh.
they like
I,
they
Well,
pirated
I
it.
think that's what's interesting about this too, is because like the technology in the film is pre-iPhone. So like there is some cell phone usage, but it's not like, like Night of the Reaper is in a time where that didn't exist, and that's, intentional for a number of reasons. But this just is, it's a present day thing, but it's before we have the internet. So like porn back then, even though the internet existed, like Pornhub and like all these big websites and stuff like that, they didn't exist. So having just this tape is this really funny idea. And it goes back to when like I was a teenager and your friend has like a porn tape that's mislabeled because you had to. And it's
You
just
didn't want
this
your mom to
funny,
find it.
yeah,
Yeah.
could
yeah.
have been his
So yeah, I
childhood
thought that was
tape.
super funny as well.
Yeah.
Nature special, that's right.
Yeah, I thought that was really clever.
I thought it was funny that Anna Paquin like thought that she was going to take down that entire yard of Halloween decorations in like 20
Leslie
minutes.
Bibb.
Yeah,
Yeah,
wait,
Yeah,
that
Leslie
Anna
Bibb.
Paquin. Anna
wait.
Paquin was the werewolf. It was
Oh, I'm
Leslie
hmm
Bibb
sorry.
was
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
Leslie Bibb. Sorry. Yeah, when yeah, you're right. Sorry. It was going to take like at least 3 hours, and she sends that guy to go
hmm
in there. He's like, "Joe, just
Well, he fell asleep, right?
get
That's how
yeah,
long
get the
it
tape
took.
started. I'll be right in." And I thought that was super
I
funny.
would have helped her. I'd be like, I'm gonna throw this shit in the fucking
Yeah,
house. I'm trying to get laid over
for
here
sure.
tonight. Make
Oh,
her
she was
do
My
the
a
work.
hater.
question
She was a hater.
My question is, who decorated? Like, she obviously hates Halloween, so did he do it? And it's like it's really impressive. It's a great looking front
That's what I'm
yard with
saying.
like
It was going to
the
take
the
hours.
ghost scarecrows. Yeah, for sure. So I'm like, it's weird. It is, it's a plot hole,
There's
guys.
some
This
plot
movie's
holes.
shit.
There are definitely
Yeah.
some plot holes. And
Yeah.
it's funny though. So unlike you guys, I just got into this film like maybe last year or the year before. Like I tried to watch it a few times and either I just didn't like it, I fell asleep on it. I don't know what was happening with it, but a couple years ago, I was in Chicago. It was really late at night. Wife was passed out and I'm just drunk and bored and it had to been like really late at
Surprise.
night and I'm just like how many channels do you get like in a hotel? Like not a lot. And I'm just
hmm
flipping and there was like one cable channel or something like that and turn it on and I didn't even know it was this film. I'm watching it for a few minutes. I'm like, this kind of seems like a horror film. I'm like, I'll just keep it on because there's literally nothing on. By the like, like maybe like the middle of it, I'm like, what the fuck is this movie? It's amazing. I'm like, I'm loving this movie. And then we get to the end. I'm like, oh, I recognize the character. I'm like, this is it. This is Trick or Treat. I can't believe it. I can't believe I slept
Crazy.
so long on this film. Like literally everyone on earth told me to watch this film. I'm like,
Hmm.
yeah, I hate it. I'm like, I don't like it. Last 2 years, I tell everyone to watch this film.
Hmm.
I love it. It's definitely become like one of my favorite films. And a lot of what works for me is the atmosphere of
Totally.
the film. I love the look of the film. I love the feel. It feels like Halloween.
Hmm.
It feels like that
Yeah.
excitement of building up to that day. I can almost feel like the chill in the air of that night, and it's all that put together, and these stories. And again, just like you guys, there's some stories I like a lot. There's some stories that are like, they're okay, but all together, it just makes a fantastic film. And honestly, I think this would make for a great double feature for Night of the Reaper. So it kind of like made sense, like talking
Hmm.
about these two films. They both kind of like work off of like atmosphere, and it has that, just has a feel. It's like
Yeah.
that spooky season feel, and I love that. So I'm into this film now.
Do you know
So
what's got a
Brandon,
really good feel? Sorry, just one
no,
real
no, go
quick.
ahead.
Is
Yeah,
No,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Hubie
I would love to hear it.
Uh,
Hubie Halloween on Netflix, the
That
Adam
is
Sandler movie?
Adam
I'm not gonna
Sandler.
watch that.
Yeah.
I am not gonna watch an Adam Sandler
It
movie. I don't care.
it's not great, but the vibes are immaculate. Like even just watch the first 5 minutes and you're just like in Salem
No, I'm
in
into it.
it's pretty sick. But
I,
yeah,
I'll check
the
that.
movie itself is whatever.
I'll check that before. I literally watched some Halloween Netflix film the other day, and I don't know what it was. It was fairly new, and I really liked it. I think
Oh,
I think Damon Wayans was in it actually. Rich,
I like
oh yeah,
David
yeah, yeah.
Wayans.
we were just talking about him for some
No,
reason.
we're talking
Oh,
about
for
Marlon Wayans. We're
oh,
talking about
Marlon
Marlon
Wayans.
Wayans. Yeah.
Damon Wayans was in this one, and
Right.
I can't think of the name of the film.
I know what you're talking about.
But it was fantastic though. I'm like, sometimes Netflix they put out some bangers, but most of the
Hmm.
time they just they
They
just
they don't
drop
stick
it.
They're
they don't stick the ending. They have a hard time with endings in their movies. They're good
they're
first
also
hour.
Yeah, they're appealing to the masses too. Like everybody has Netflix, so they're playing it safe a lot of the times. Like the movies are never terribly offensive,
Correct.
they're just doing the thing for the broadest audience possible. So you don't really find unless it's like an acquisition, you're not going to find anything that's really kind of directed at you unless you're more broad of a
It's the
person, I think.
algorithm. It's whatever the algorithm tells them to
Totally,
write. That's what you're gonna
totally.
see. So Brandon, you said your favorite story is the bus with the teenagers, or
Hmm.
like they're 11, 12 years old. Jerry, what's your favorite
Yeah.
story in this one?
Same one. I love that because it's almost two stories. There's
Yeah.
the story of the kids that were on the bus, and there's
Hmm.
the follow up of these kids kind of like trying to put together like this strange, I don't know, sacrificial thing for those kids.
Hmm.
I think the kids on the bus, those costumes were just so creepy and
So
just
good.
kind of like really hit home, being that they were just like so basic. Like one kid's wearing like a sandwich bag essentially on his head, but you're like, the fuck is that? Like that's so
Yeah.
scary. And you have to feel for those kids. And it was also, and here's a tragic story.
Hmm.
I wasn't expecting anything like that in this particular
Yeah.
film. But then you have like these dicky kind of like bitchy kids later on, and it's just a story to them,
Hmm.
it's just a thing to them. And I thought that it was awesome because when you realize basically that this is no longer a joke and some things are starting to happen, this film gets really creepy, really, really
Hmm.
quick. And you're like, are these kids about to get like fucked up? And and how old are they? And then
Yeah.
in the back of your head, they kind of annoy you. So you're like, I hope they do. And then at the same time, like they're just kids, but they're like, they're
Yeah.
super annoying. Fuck them up, you know?
Yeah. It's a pretty
Fuck those
brutal
kids.
ending. Yeah, it's a very brutal ending for like kids just playing a prank on a kid. They get destroyed by these like mutants. ghost children. No, it's great. And and like the cutting back to the 50s when it happened, the story, and they show like, the bus going down the tree-lined road, and there's like a Chevy Bel Air off to the side to be like, hey, this takes place in the 50s. Um and it's just like great. And it kind of has this evolution of, it's like the special kids or whatever. And then the guy parks and he starts giving them candy and he reveals like, oh, they're all chained in, and it's just like got this slow evolution of that makes it more and more sad until eventually the bus goes over the cliff, and it's just like holy shit, like that is so dark, that all these parents banded together. It's kind of like the Nightmare on Elm Street reboot that they did, where it was like all the parents coming together to burn him alive, but this is all these parents coming together to kill their own kids, and it's like
That's
Jesus,
rough.
so dark.
Yeah, and it's unexpected how dark it gets, right? Because you have this
Hmm.
opening story that's dark, but it's kind of hokey, right? It's kind of like really
Hmm.
goofy, like, and then you have this, which is again, yeah, incredibly like fucked up. And once it got to that point, I'm like, what movie am I watching? Like, this is not what
Hmm.
I expected this to be. One quick thing on that. So you mentioned the Chevy Bel Air. I read that that was actually a nod to John Carpenter's Christine,
Oh, cool.
and there's a couple of nods to Carpenter throughout the movie. The actor who's in the Sam story, I think he tried to like had his beard to look like John Carpenter. Like they tried to do a bunch of things to
Brian
really kind of
Cox.
yeah, I think that's what I
Okay.
read. Yeah, so I thought
Cool.
that was pretty like interesting trivia. I would
Yeah.
say for me, the two stories I like the best are definitely the Sam story because it's just the character's really cool and creepy as
Hmm.
fuck. Like when he's like
Yeah.
shot and like kind of sitting and then he just gets up and just kind of walks away,
Oh,
super creepy. Like 'cause you don't know what's gonna
Yeah.
happen. Like is he gonna go back and like kill him? Is he just like that was cool. But I mean I also really like for many reasons the werewolf story with Anna
of course.
Paquin. No,
I
so
know where you're
what?
going with this.
No, number one, it's sexy as hell. It's sexy
It
as hell. So
is.
that's why I liked it. But I didn't expect it. Like I didn't
Hmm.
like I knew that there was going to be something going on there, but that's
Yeah,
not what I thought was going to happen at all. And
for sure.
if you could surprise me with one of these things, then like that's pretty cool. Because like a lot of them, I kind of could you could predict like how it's going to go. That I did not see that coming. So I thought that was like a really interesting twist. So
Yeah.
I
I
like those
mean,
two the best.
to tie that to Night of the Reaper in a very thread paper thin way. If you watch, the werewolf one again, the way that they're talking, you understand that they're not just talking about virginity, they're talking about something else. And, I think in Reaper, we do something similar with a lot of the conversations. If you watch it again, they have a different meaning when you know that she's actually preparing. So like everything she's saying, you're like, oh, it gives it a different kind of point perspective for it. But yeah, that one does that for sure. Because when it's just like it's very obvious because they're saying these things, but they're kind of like double meanings for everything, and it's just really well done.
Yeah, and I do want to watch Reaper again for that because, like I said earlier, I didn't see that twist coming, and now I want to kind of
Hmm.
go back and see if I could pick up clues, which is great because a lot of movies, once you kind of know the twist, it becomes less
Hmm.
enjoyable, right? But I
Yeah.
definitely want to see like what nuances I could pick up, so I definitely want to watch that again. So before we kind of rate this movie, I think Jerry, did you say you had something you wanted to talk
Oh,
about first or do first?
yeah, we may have a drinking
Just
game
just a quick drinking game.
planned
So it's
uh
strip poker. Let's do
with
strip poker.
Well, you have layers
it
on, so you're
could
gonna
be
beat us.
Yeah, I know.
it
Yeah.
could be. We may want to get some of those werewolves here to kind of like up
Yeah.
these ratings a little bit. I don't know how well the three of us will do.
Yeah.
Not
I don't think you
knocking
can say that
anyone, just
anymore.
talking about myself here. But yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, Brandon, I have a little drinking game here. This is one
Great.
that we started, not too long ago. It's pretty bad, but it's not the worst one that we play on this show.
Hmm.
We had some incidents with guests passing out, or we had to cut the
Really?
feed, things like that. Things get a little crazy. So,
You signed your waiver, right? Like you're
yeah,
I did. Yeah.
I may have
Thought that
forgot
was
to send
weird,
it
but
to him. But we play this little game here. It's called Progressive Sips trivia, and it's
Okay.
basically taking over the social media world. It's trending everywhere. People seen us play this game, and now the whole world wants to play. I hear it's huge in other countries, possibly
Hmm.
Canada. I'm not quite sure, but it's taking over the earth. And really what this
Okay.
is I'm going to ask a couple of questions, not that many because it is progressive. And
Yeah.
each question, basically the number of that question amounts to the sips that you're putting on the line. And it's going to be pretty
Great.
easy. I'm going to ask you a couple questions about this film right here,
Hmm.
Trick or Treat. So it's going to be trivia questions about Trick or Treat. And question one will be for one sip, question two will be for two sips, and so on. If you get
Okay.
it
Until we
right,
get to 20.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna have
If
to go
you
to the
get it
store buy
right,
more of these pink lemonades.
you might have to. So if you get it right, I'll take the sip. If you get it wrong, you take the sip. And I'm going to
Great.
be super, super, super nice today. And I'm going to let
Okay.
Rich choose his own partner to join for this particular game. So Rich, now that you know what we're playing, why don't you choose your player?
Well, I did like Brandon's film. If I didn't like his film, I'd probably go with you. But I like this film, so I'm gonna write. And he did know the nature special. At least he got half of it.
He
So I'm
did. He
gonna
Yeah.
I'm
did.
gonna I'm gonna roll with Brandon tonight. So I'm gonna drink with you. Well, we won't be drinking because you're gonna get them all right. So like I'm gonna
Hmm.
kick back.
So it's just going to be me.
I'll be on my
Okay.
That's
phone,
smart.
just kind of like on Twitter, just hanging out, like talking to our
Hmm.
fans while you guys play.
You know, I
Good.
am gonna fill up a little bit because that tape is a very, very unique detail that I try to capture in this game. So I feel like Brandon knows his shit. So I am gonna
I don't know. I'm
uh,
like I knew the porn tape because it was porn related. That was about it.
all right, fair
I
enough.
like tune in. I'm like laser vision on that, but yeah, we'll see.
All right, let's do it.
All right, let's get into it. All right, so all
Hmm.
these questions are going to be about Trick or Treat. First question, and Rich almost spoiled it, but he didn't, because one of the first things he said was the location. So I just want to know, Brandon, what town or state does all of this take place in? And it's not Canada.
Oh, it's
Yeah, okay,
not?
that's interesting because they shot it in Burnaby. I know that.
So I'll take either or for one sip. So this is
Yeah,
not
because
that
he
bad.
said it took place in Canada, and I was like, it doesn't actually. I
In
Don't
didn't
ever
the
listen
remember
to me.
film,
that.
I don't
the
know what I'm
film,
talking about. Yeah.
so
It's
so
definitely
one
filmed in Canada.
so one thing
Yeah,
is I don't lie or try to skew any of the answers.
sure.
I 100% according to the film, like where
Yeah,
it's they say it in the film where it takes place.
right.
So it might have been shot in Canada, but I'm talking about
Yeah.
the film
Okay, cool. I
itself.
thought you were maybe trying to trick it, but
I would
no,
never. Nope, no. I'm 100%.
I hate that I don't know this. I'll say the state maybe was Michigan.
Close.
I'm
Holy
wrong.
shit. All right.
Where
You
was
got it
it?
wrong.
Can
So
I
it was,
guess? Can I guess? Was
go
it
ahead.
Boston?
Nope.
Oh, then
Yeah.
Warren, Ohio.
what? That
Oh,
ain't even
okay.
real.
Yeah.
That's not
That's
even a
what
real
it
town.
says. It. They say it. They say it like three times in the
All
film.
right, all right. Well, we
Who
got to
All
says
right.
drink
it?
one. Cheers.
So
Okay.
they say it right in the beginning. I think
Mhm.
Mr. What's his name? The neighbor guy.
The principal?
Yeah, I think he says
Oh,
it.
does he?
And I think
Okay.
there's a sign during the parade.
Oh,
So
okay.
I think there's a few things. So there's a
Okay.
few. All
So
right.
yeah,
Never would
So
have gotten that.
I do know they filmed it in Canada because that parade is an annual parade they have every year, and they
Oh,
just happen
cool.
to be filming it while they were doing that.
So
Oh,
there you
cool.
go. Okay, so it's gonna get a little more difficult now.
Great.
Uh,
Why?
so in that opening kind of act, there's like a creepy kid across the street in a full robe and mask, and he's staring at that woman while she's taking down her decorations. But all of a sudden, a car pulls up. What kind of car is it?
Dude.
It's
So
so it
Sam's
is.
watching across the street because he's
Yep,
watching her break the rule of
yep,
Halloween and
yep,
pull out decorations too early.
yep.
Um, a car pull up. I
Yeah,
mean, that would
it's an unusual car for, let's say, this time. So it kind of stands out. It resonated with me.
The hard thing is that me and my sons and my wife, we just binged the first season of Stranger Things over the last few days because they'd never seen it. And amazing, we just finished like 20 minutes before this. And so I'm like picturing all of this Halloween, like fall 80s vibes and seeing all these cars. And I'm like, oh, it's no, that's from Stranger Things. Um,
You might be on the right path though, so go ahead, just
yeah,
throw
no,
it
I
out.
feel like it would be. I'm trying to picture the scene. I've got a really good memory for this stuff too, and I'm completely blanking. Rich, help me out. You got any idea?
I'm not looking at cars, man.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
thinking about
Leslie
that.
Bibb was on screen. I'm not looking
I'm
there.
thinking about that porno tape they're gonna watch. I'm not paying attention to what's driving.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Shit.
Throw out a car. Just throw a guess out.
Like a 70s Charger.
All right, close. It was a Volkswagen Beetle.
That's not close.
That's not
But it's
close.
from the
They couldn't be
70s. It's
different.
from the 70s.
But you know what
Okay.
though? Like we always used to comment how like in '80s horror movies, there's Volkswagen Beetles in
Volkswagen
like
Beetles,
every
every
movie,
single
and they
one.
never
Mhm.
start. They never
Yeah.
start.
So take you two
Yeah.
sips, Rich.
Oh, fuck
All right, I
no.
just did one and then
All right. Yeah. All right. Let's move on here. All right. So let's get into Lori.
it's
We
off
we
to a
know.
bad start. You picked the wrong team, Rich.
All right, so let's get into Lori. We all love her. We were just talking about her. Um, who does she dress up as? What's her costume? The
She's a
girl says.
robot.
No, not her. Anna Paquin.
Anna Paquin.
Oh, she's Little Red Riding Hood.
Correct. You guys
Nice.
got
Okay.
one. Look
All
at that.
right.
Just like
See,
that.
we get it when
Just
it
like
counts.
that.
Like the
It's
easy,
easy.
Yeah.
yeah, 1 and 2 don't matter, but it's like 3 and
Hmm.
4. Those are the ones you want to get right. So we're just
Mm.
pacing ourselves.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so we're dead tied right now. So it's 3-3.
Hmm.
Okay, that dickhead old guy, Mr. Kriegs. He said his dog name like 600
Oh,
times. What was the dog's name?
Oh,
I know it because you're right. He
Four
does say it
sips. He
600
says it like
times.
600
he
times.
does. And I'm
Like
like,
Spuds
it's like,
McKenzie kind of dog. Yeah.
yeah, it's like Baxter or something. Is it Baxter?
I would
I
confer
don't think it's
Rich, maybe.
Baxter.
It's not
It's not Baxter.
Baxter.
I don't know what it is. I feel like it starts with a I feel like it starts with an S, but I might be wrong.
He's onto something. Go ahead. Go ahead. Roll with it. Roll with it. Go. Go. Just say something. Something with an S.
Sebastian. It's not Sebastian, is it? It's not
Yeah, I don't know.
Baxter.
You guys giving up?
Yeah.
All right. It's
Okay.
Spite.
Spite?
Spite?
Spite is the dog's
Oh
name.
God, I would never have gotten that.
Spite. He says it like 600 times. Like Spite. Spite.
He does.
come
He
in here,
says it a
Spite.
lot. Yeah.
Spite. Yeah, all right. We're cracking another beer. We're going. All right. We're almost done, guys. We're almost done.
Thank God.
So
All right, we got to get this one. If we get this one, I'll
all
feel
right,
good about
listen.
myself.
I feel like I'm throwing a softball at you guys for 5 sips here. This should be super super easy for any fan of this film. And
Oh boy.
Brandon, I'm gonna loft this at you. I'm actually gonna put the glass in my hand because I
Uh-huh.
feel like I'm done here. Name any one of Sam's rules for Halloween.
Well, you can't. You have.
You just said one
Now
before.
yeah, you can't like take down the decorations before midnight.
Yep, there you go. That's it.
All
Done.
right,
You got
woo!
it. You
That's it.
got it. You
What?
got
All right, we
it.
win.
Was there multiple rules though? Like
Mhm.
spoken rules?
Yes, there is. Yeah.
Well,
So
they don't
so
say them out loud, right? It's written down, right?
they write them, they say them. It comes out in many
Huh.
different ways. One is always check your candy. Two
Oh
is you're
yeah.
always supposed to pass out candy on Halloween.
Right.
You never blow out a jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah.
You don't take the decorations down before 12 a.m. You
Yeah.
always must wear a costume. You
Right.
have to respect the dead, and you never hurt the innocent. So those
Okay.
are all Sam's rules.
Right. Yeah. No,
Also,
that's
and it's spread out
obviously.
throughout the
I mean,
film. Like they'll
yeah.
have it like flash on the screen, or maybe a
Hmm.
person will say it, or Sam will kind of like enforce one of the rules, which I think is crazy. So that was pretty good. I just lost 5, so I think overall, I think we're close. So it's 8,
Seven,
4,
7 to 8. So
7 to 8.
we won
All right,
by 1 sip.
so I have an extra credit question. If you
Hmm.
guys want to do
Do
an
it.
extra credit question, now, I'm not going to do
I love
6.
failing.
I'm not going to do 6. We'll just do a simple 3 sips. on
Sure.
this one. So we were talking about Lori and what she was dressed as. If you guys want to do this extra credit question, it's going to be very, very similar to that. Do you want to do it?
Hmm. Sure.
You're in. Okay. All right. What were the other girls dressed as? There's three other girls.
One was uh was it Cinderella? Not Yeah, it
Yep.
was Cinderella. The blonde was Cinderella.
Gi-
Um,
Give me another
then there
one.
was the other two girls. It's got Little Red Riding Hood, Cinderella.
Rich, I know you were checking that scene.
Yeah, I was paying very close attention to that scene, and I don't remember anything.
I mean, the
I,
outfit, the costumes did come off, so,
yeah,
Come on,
that's when I started paying attention. I was like,
all
oh,
right,
all right, here we go.
we got Cinderella. I'll even give you a hint. It's in that vein. Like
yeah.
it's kind of
It'd be like Disney
all
princessy,
characters
right?
like that. Yeah, it's all kind of characters like that. So give me a couple more. Let's see
I'm
more.
just like trying, like I know that they were wearing like milkmaid adjacent outfits because it was very like tight fitting and and whatnot. But God, I wish I had known that there was going to be a quiz. I would have paid more attention.
That's not fun then.
No, I know.
It's
God, I picture Cinderella because she's got the blue,
yeah.
and then I mean, is Sleeping Beauty one of them because with the black? But I don't think so because
Uh,
there's
all right. I'll put you guys out of your misery. Okay, you
it's
ready?
not Belle. Yeah, yeah.
All right. Cinderella. It was all easy ones. Snow White
It
and
was Snow White.
Little Bo Peep.
Oh, and Little Bo Peep,
Little Bo
really?
Peep, I wouldn't have got. I don't even know what she's supposed to
No,
look like. So, all right, how many sips is this?
That was
is
three.
it
All
three?
right, cheers.
That was it. You guys survived. Brandon, you survived. So hopefully
So,
maybe
okay, so we survived for now, but we do have like one last bit of drinking that we're gonna do, Brandon, and it's
Mm,
how when we do discuss a movie, we do rate the movie on a scale of 0 to 5 bloody knives, 0 being the worst,
cool.
5 being the best. And we do play a little drinking game. And when we have a guest, the guest usually gets to pick which one of us they want to drink with for the night. But I'm gonna assign you to me, so you're gonna drink with me just because I just
Cool.
drank all the sips for the questions you lost. So you got it. We're right or die now. How
Sure.
how how it's gonna work is you're gonna give your rating 0 to 5. Jerry and I are gonna do those sips. Then after that, Jerry's gonna give his rating. You and I are gonna do those sips. I'm gonna give my rating. Jerry does those sips, and we're all gonna be nice and buzzed, and then go back to our lives and and decide what
Yeah,
happens next and question our own reality. So,
right.
Brandon, 0 to 5, trick or treat. You watch it every year. What do you give it?
I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of five,
Ooh,
just because I
okay.
don't think, I think it's awesome. I mean, the mark of a good movie for me isn't like, the script or whatever like that. It's how rewatchable it is. If a movie can become that kind of comfort viewing, even if I'm not paying close attention to things like what the women are wearing, um, it it that's hugely important. I mean, people watch like stuff like The Office on repeat because it's comfortable and it's cozy and it doesn't challenge you anymore. And I think, being able to make something like that, like Michael did here, is, super cool and just something that people can revisit yearly. And it's just like a vibe starter and all that stuff. And that's why I use it. So, I don't think it's perfect for sure because it's a little uneven, but the rewatchability is so high. It's super efficient. It's like an hour 22.
Yeah, which I
Um,
appreciate. Too many movies are too
totally.
long. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah, 4.5 seems fine because it's like it's not perfect, but it's so good that it doesn't matter. So yeah, 4.5 for me.
Ooh,
All right. So,
damn.
Jerry, let's do that. Let's sip to 4.5.
I mean, one. It was 1.5.
I would have appreciated that. Okay, so
Yeah,
I'm gonna give my rating now. So I do really like this movie, but it does depend on my mood when I'm watching it.
yeah.
I think from now on, when I do watch it, I am gonna save it for when I'm watching it with other people because I do like it better that way. I like it a lot. I wouldn't say I love it, but I like it a lot. There
Hmm.
definitely, again, I really don't like that one story, which kind of takes me out of
Hmm.
it. Just like I could skip past it though now, like when I want to rewatch it. But I'm gonna give it a 3. I'm giving it a 3. So
Wow.
Jerry's gonna drink 3, but let's wait. We'll all drink together because
Oh,
Okay.
why
okay.
not? So Jerry, what do you give? What do you give yours? What do you give this one?
Yeah, if you asked me like 2.5 years ago, I would have gave this a 1. I hated it. I thought it was fucking silly and stupid, and I didn't understand Sam at all. My
Hmm.
whole life has changed since then, and I am reborn, and I love this film. I watch it multiple times throughout the year. This is probably watching it for this episode is probably the third time I watched it this month. So I'm really into
Wow.
this
Wow.
film. So I'm gonna agree with Brandon. I love this film.
Fuck
Uh,
you.
I'm giving it 4.5 bloody knives
Ugh.
because it is fantastic. And Brandon hit the nail on the head. Rewatchability definitely always adds at least 1.5 bloody knives to it because if I
Hmm.
could enjoy it over and over again, that says a lot. So four
All
and a
right.
half.
So we're gonna drink 4.5. Jerry's gonna drink 3. Let's do it. Cheers to that.
Cheers.
And that finishes my drink as well as it finishes the episode. So, Brandon Christensen, his new film, Night of the Reaper, is out on Shudder. Watch it. Very cool film. If you're into like movies that are pay homage to 80s movies, if you like, as we said, it's not really a slasher, but I think if you like slashers, you'll like it. There's a lot there for you. It's really well written. It's like a great twist for the third act. I definitely recommend it. And look out for his next film, which is Body Cam. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Body Cam,
Yeah.
Body Cam. Look out for that. Probably, when was that coming out again? I forgot.
Early next year. I
Early
can't
next
say
year.
specifically, they won't let me, but early next year.
It
Yeah.
is coming out. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for drinking along with us and playing some games, having some fun. It was a blast. And
Yeah.
yeah, man, best of luck. Looking forward to seeing more stuff from you.
Thank you. Yeah, this was super cool. It's a fun little thing. And I love the fact that you guys have been doing it. You've been gone for 15 years, you said, and it's just like a way to keep that friendship alive. And that's really cool and inspiring because it's tough, these days. Especially, are you both married?
He's married. I am not. And yeah, that's kind of why we did this, right? It's like we talk every day through text, but
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in probably like 5 years or something like that. And I
Right.
thought, no matter what happened, I thought, you know what? If we have a time scheduled where we could just hang out and just
Hmm.
talk, it'll give us an
Yeah,
excuse to kind of like keep talking. And
for sure.
we didn't think anything was going to happen with this podcast. We thought we'd do like 2 episodes and get bored. But
Hmm.
it is great like that. I know that like every 2 weeks we're gonna hang, and like you
Sure.
said, it's a great way to keep the friendship going. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
why we do it. So yeah, thanks for recognizing that.
Yeah. No, it's awesome, guys. I appreciate that just as someone that grew up with people that I don't really talk to anymore, and it's just it's awesome. So good for you
It's tough
guys.
when you
It's
become adults, right? It's tough to find
Yeah.
the
totally.
time, and we all
Yeah.
spread out and have our own
Yeah,
things going on. So, but anyway,
for sure.
really, really cool to meet you, Brandon. Thanks again for coming on. This was awesome, and yeah, can't wait to see more stuff.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
All right,
Thank
later.
you.